Hello, and welcome back to Girls Got Game. I'm your host, Katie Sue Christensen, and today we will be talking about Women's March Madness, NBA's most shocking moments this season, and Red Bull games. So stay tuned because Girls Got Game starts right now. Hey, welcome back. I'm with my co-host, Frankie Noble. How are you, Frankie?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm so happy to be here. And I have my wonderful guests here, Ashley Rowe, Kenny Harris, and Layla Wall. How are we?
I'm super good. I'm excited.
Love that. That was so fun.
So, because it is the beginning of March, we will be talking about March Madness, Women's March Madness, and happy Women's History Month, guys.
Oh, yes. You're on
Be
Girls Got
awesome.
Game.
Girls Got Game, ready for it. So, I'm excited to talk about this. The bracket will be revealed Sunday, March 16th, and Women's March Madness will officially begin March 17th, and the NCAA Championships will begin April 3rd through the 6th. The championship game being the 6th in Tampa.
Right in our backyard.
Right here.
Or our west yard.
Yeah, we can take a field trip there if we really want to.
I'll hop in. Yeah.
I'm very excited. Frankie, I know that you just got rankings earlier because they just dropped.
Like an hour or so ago. So rankings have kind of changed a bit. Our top 5 are Texas, USC, UConn, UCLA, and South Carolina. Most notably, Notre Dame is not in the rankings anymore. They dropped from 3 to 6 after losing 2 straight conference games, most recently to Florida State on Thursday, blowing a 15-point lead. I think these rankings are very exciting to look at because there's a bunch of movement, shifting up, down, whatever. Our guests, I'd love to know what you guys think about these new rankings.
I love them because the team that I chose, spoilers, UConn, it's climbed up. It's climbed up. They're number 3. So I feel like I'm feeling really good about them, actually.
Yeah.
I am not because my team is UCLA and they dropped 2 spots.
They flip-flopped with our pick. Now that we're telling all of our picks, but we'll get into that later. Kenny.
Yeah, I was also rooting for a team that dropped in the rankings, Notre Dame, with the 2 bad losses. But they did have a bounce back, so I'm still hopeful, but not what you want to see going into March.
Oh yeah, rankings are very telling. Super excited to see how they affect March Madness and the bracket.
Absolutely.
But Katie.
Now we want to talk predictions. So we all came prepared with our predictions of who we think will be winning that championship game.
As we've already discussed a little
As
bit.
we already kind of gave you a little bit. But Frankie, you,
Yes.
and
you.
we do have the same kind of guess.
We've both gone with kind of the easy choice, but the deserved choice in USC. There's no doubt about it. They have one really, really incredible athlete on their team, Juju Watkins.
Absolutely.
I think we can all agree, everybody on both of these couches, incredible athlete, incredible for the game of women's collegiate basketball. She dropped 30 points against UCLA. They beat UCLA, sorry Layla, twice this season. But she dropped 30 points. She averages 25 points a game. She leads in pretty much all categories. When we're looking on the defense, Raya Marshall leads in rebounds and blocks, averaging 8.6 and 2.1 respectively. So some pretty great players on that team. Katie, I'm sure you have some stuff you want to say about USC.
Yeah, she also was Athletics National Player of the Year. She was just named. She's only a sophomore guard, and she was last year freshman's pick of the year. So incredible. She's amazing. And yes,
the whole team is great too.
We have
obviously.
Raya Marshall.
Yeah.
We have lots of other people that are good, but she's just someone that is very much highlights it, and obviously helps with their scoring 30 points an average.
Right.
Like, you're gonna be talked about.
It's hard not to think about this team and not immediately want to talk about Juju Watkins. I mean, it's hard to talk about women's collegiate basketball and not talk about Juju Watkins. So
yes, absolutely. She is, in USC's record book, she is ranked 11th in all-time career scoring
as
goals.
a 19-year-old.
As a 19-year-old. She's 19. She is 6'2". And she scoring 1,604 points. So she became the fastest Trojan to score 1,000 career points in program history earlier this season. And I want to say that USC also has the highest ticketing percentage at 14.9%. And the highest handle percentage at 36.2%, if we want to talk betting.
And they've clinched the Big Ten regular season title. So go USC, go Trojans, I guess.
I think we're going to win.
I think they're going to take it all. Layla, I know, disagrees. However, we flip-flopped in the rankings, so.
Well, I did make this prediction before these rankings came out when UCLA was ranked 2, but I'm going to stand on it. They had their best season in program history with only 2 losses, both coming from USC. But I want to talk specifically about their standout player, Lauren Betts. She is insane. She is 6'7", averages 19.6 points per game, 9.7 rebounds per game, and is 5th in the country with blocks averaging 2.9 blocks per game. So she can be credited with partly with UCLA's success this season. She's just insane. She has 12 double-doubles this season. There are other standout players like Kiki Rice, but I just think Lauren Betts deserves a lot of the credit for UCLA's success this season, whether they take the championship or not. Just a very notable season for the Bruins this year.
Yeah, I think UCLA is one of those teams that are just so well-rounded. Every player is playing on the court. Super exciting matchups to watch. Obviously, you said there are 2 losses from USC. The California rivals, super fun to watch. What are your guys' thoughts on USC and UCLA, both of them?
I think it's so great that the rivalry that is UCLA versus USC has some spark in it again and has some energy, because when those 2 teams are at the top of their game, it's one of the best rivalries in sports. So I was watching that game last night. It was a very entertaining game, and we'll see which team can keep up their success in March and be the best team in LA.
When they're playing, it's not easy to see who's going to win. They stay close. They stay close, and that loss wasn't a crazy big loss, which is even makes it harder to watch.
Yeah.
But, all right, Kenny, you want to talk about your predictions?
Yes. As you can see, I'm wearing green. I hope everyone on these couches doesn't turn green with envy when I talk about my Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Oh my gosh.
They like that. I really love this Notre Dame team. I believe that a team that plays together slays together.
Yes.
This
Kenny
team,
with the liner today.
this team just moves the
gosh.
ball so well. They're averaging 86.1 points per game, which is 5th in the nation. Their offense moves so fast. They move the ball very well, 18 assists per game, shooting almost 50% from the field. This season, they've also had wins against USC, UConn, and Texas. So they play in big games very well. And just look at how they attack the paint. It's amazing. They're leading women's college basketball in three-point percentage as well. Spearheaded their offense by Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles, who are just special athletes. Hannah Hidalgo is averaging 24 points per game. She plays downhill, but she can also use that 3-ball, and she just knows how to use angles to get open, 39% from the 3-point line. Olivia Miles is one of the best passers I've seen. I mean, 16 points per game as well, 6 assists that leads the ACC. Their defense is active, 11 steals, 5 blocks. They're rebounding very well. Free throws and rebounds are the most important part of basketball in March, and I think if they're doing that at a great level, they'll be ready for the tournament.
They undeniably have a lot of talent. Before we pass it over to Ashley, really quick, I want to ask you, what do you think their mentality is, though, now going into March Madness after losing 2 straight games?
Yeah, they've had the bad losses, and I think their mentality is to just next game, and we're just going to go straight forward, and we're going to continue to win. They got a win last night against Louisville. That was pretty much their game from the opening tip. So I think they're just going to move forward from those conference losses. We'll see how they do in the conference tournament, and then in the big tournament, we'll see how they do.
That's the mindset. That's the mindset. All right, Ashley, with our final predictions, please give me yours. I know you gave a little tidbit, but.
Yes, I have UConn Huskies for my prediction. They're a really solid team. They have a great coach under them, Gino Auriemma. He's has 8 Coach of the Year awards, hello, and he has 11 national championships under his belt. So they have a great coaching staff, and they're led by an amazing player, Paige Beckers.
Everyone knows Paige Beckers.
We love her. I will say, yes, so she's averaging 18.6 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 4.9 assists per game. She's great, and she's also a really great communicator, leading her team. They're always on the same page. See what I did there, guys? Thank you, guys. No, but I'm really excited for them, because also when they go up against some of those more top tier teams, now I think they're number 5 now, South Carolina destroyed them in one of the last games they played, 87-58. So very clean team to root for. I love their mascot. Am I biased because Paige Becker's made a 6'7" joke on her conference? Yes, but you know, I feel like I was rooting for the Liberty, for WNBA, and Kenny was saying before, I was right.
You're always
so,
right, yeah.
Guys, let's go Huskies. Thank you, Connecticut. Yes.
Very valid prediction. All right, everyone's predictions I loved. Unfortunately, that is all the time we have for Girls Got Game for this segment, but stay tuned because we'll be talking about NBA next.
Hello. So I guess the crew's getting ready for the next segment on one of our amazing shows. I'm Nick Cohen, host of season 20 of Hitting the Field, and let me tell you about those amazing shows. On behalf of HTF, we hope you're enjoying today's content, but I'm here to tell you about everything else we offer here at the network. Mondays at 4, HTF Bets goes live for season 10 with 3 gamblers that, although it may not always seem like it, are here to help us all earn a little bit of extra money while we watch sports. Diego Ortiz, Tyler Brownrigg, and Andrew Gregg's ball knowledge and fun personalities make this show a fan favorite. On Tuesdays, you all loved it, so we brought it back for season 2. It's Girls Got Game, hosted by Frankie Noble, a show blending women in sports, the biggest sports news stories, and creative segments that make for a fun and engaging show. Next is everyone's favorite sports podcast, The Combine, hosted by who other than Ty Patton, an easygoing, conversational, and technical podcast dropping Wednesdays, also on Spotify at The Combine. Then tune in Thursdays at noon for the network's main show, season 20 of Hitting the Field, hosted by me. Here, we'll cover any sport, any topic, any story, no matter how obscure. We love some football, basketball, hockey, F1. We also cover baseball, soccer, and we even have to show the UFC love sometimes. Penultimately, TGIF, because Friday is nighttime, hosted by Kathleen Moore and Matthew Bracker. Season 8 of Nighttime is where you'll turn to for all things March Madness, UCF sports, and other collegiate events. We're ending with something brand new. HTFN has never had 6 shows running at once. Also filmed in our new podcast studio is HTFC, hosted by Edgar Rodriguez and Patrick De Leon. Football, or soccer in America, is the most popular sport in the world. Across multiple leagues and cups, soccer is a year-round sport, and HTFC is your new source to stay updated. Also on Spotify, by the way, at HTFC. Outside of our 6-show roster, be sure to tune in to our other content, such as the Studio Days vlog, run by our vlog squad of Brianna St. Jean, Michaela Croker, Ashley Rowe, and Ben Huber. Make sure to follow us on our social medias like Instagram, Facebook, and X to stay updated on all HTFN news. Remember to subscribe right here on YouTube, leave a like and comment, and with that, I think we're ready for your next segment. I'm Nick Cohen. Thank you for your continued support, and back to your regularly scheduled programming.
And we're back to talk some more basketball. Who doesn't love basketball? I know these guys don't, or do. They do. They love basketball. We have Diego Ortiz, Augie Aronson, and we're going to call him an NBA analyst, Andrew Gregg, for this segment because he doesn't really have a choice to make. So he's just going to analyze all of our choices because we're going to talk about our standout moments from this season. It's been an exciting season for NBA. You guys love it, I'm sure, right?
Apparently we don't.
Apparently you do.
I've actually never seen the NBA before,
Really?
so.
Me neither.
I thought the segment was WNBA. I got really
sure.
excited. Okay.
All right, all jokes aside, how are you guys doing? Excited to actually talk some NBA?
I'm doing great.
Thank
I'm
you,
actually
Diego.
excited. Yeah.
I'm excited as well.
All right.
I'm also excited.
Okay, good.
Katie, excited?
So hyped.
So hype. I'm hype. Matthew Bracker's hype behind the camera. So let's just jump right into it. We've all chosen some moments from the NBA season that have been huge to us. I'm just going to knock mine off really quick because I think it's been the biggest moment of the season, the Luka trade. I think there's no denying that this rocked the NBA world. There's a bunch of pieces that moved, but most notably Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic. Currently, Anthony Davis is injured, so I don't really know how well this trade played out now. I don't really know how well the trade played out in general because it was pretty crazy. Nobody thought that Luka was going to be traded. I think everybody, Luka included, thought he was going to be a generational Mav.
I mean, Luka just bought a house. It came out that Luka bought a house like 3 days before in Dallas before the trade.
Well, he never thought he was going to be
There's no
on
way
any
he
other
did.
team. I don't think any NBA fan thought he was going to be on another team. Most people thought the trade was fake. Like when it was released, I think you would scroll on Instagram, everybody's story
He was hacked.
What?
Shams was hacked.
Yeah,
That's what they're saying.
that's what the whole thing was. So pretty crazy trade. Luka's doing pretty great with the Lakers. I don't think anybody thought he wasn't going to do well, but you're playing with LeBron James. Dropped 29 in a 108-102 victory against the Clippers. Super exciting. I do have to say, a lot of people were wondering if he got traded because of his weight issue, and people were wondering how he was doing. He's looking like he's in great shape.
Yeah.
Not to comment on anything like that, but he looks like he's in great shape, so I don't know why any of that would be discussed. Our NBA analyst, what do you think of the Luka trade?
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the most surprising trades in NBA history. You send a generational player like Luka Doncic over to a team like the Lakers. It feels like they always get people like that. You get Kobe Bryant, you get Shaquille O'Neal. It feels like the Lakers are just that team if a trade like that was going to happen. But
it just doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't,
It
especially
never. And it didn't then. And it's been, what, 3 or 4 weeks now? And it still makes zero sense.
Given the fact in the Lakers jersey, like, it looks like an edit every time you see it. Like, it does not look real.
Given the fact that, like, you really think this was like a move for the future, the Lakers are trying to like prioritize their future rather than like obviously the present, but they're on a run. They just hopped up to the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. They're 8-2 over their last 10 games since they've gotten him. So I mean, like, it looks like a trade for now, and on the reverse side, for the Mavericks, it was supposed to be a we're trying to win now trade, and they're the number 10 seed in the West, and they're one of Anthony Davis is injured. It's
they couldn't predict that he was going to get injured.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, well, it's Anthony Davis. You could predict Anthony
you
Davis is going to get hurt.
There's a better than zero chance.
They must not have done a physical on Anthony Davis.
But you didn't think it was going to be his second game as a Mav.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised he played one.
Yeah, first game.
But like, I mean, I didn't think he was going to play one game as a Mav. Did you? A singular game.
I think
it was a good game. It was
Yeah,
a good singular game. I mean, he dropped 26
Max
points.
Christie has been pretty decent, though.
Yeah,
Max Christie's been much better than I think people thought he
definitely-
was going to be when he got traded. So
definitely
that's
taking
been
a
an
step.
upside for them. But, I mean, Max Christie's been pretty solid. But that's about it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we can continue to talk about it. It's been a whirlwind to see this whole news transpire, but we're going to move on so that we don't keep talking about the Luka trade. Katie, what was your biggest moment of the season so far? It's not over yet, but so far.
We're still, I mean, I'm going to stick with the Lakers. LeBron James, I'm a heartfelt type of gal, but LeBron James got to play with his son, Bronny James, and I just love that. I love that moment together for the Lakers. And it was Tuesday, October 22nd, and it was a season opener. And they played not that long together,
not long at all, but
it
like,
was
it's fine.
so sweet. And seeing his family, like, everyone's faces lit up, their faces lit up. And I know LeBron's been wanting that for a while. He talked about extending his career just so he could get this opportunity.
You love like seeing families play together, and it's usually brothers or something like that.
It's great.
You don't really see a father-son duo. Obviously, they
Yes.
haven't played together long, and they probably won't play that much together, but it is
Yes.
very heartwarming
Yes,
to see.
they won that game, and it was the first father-son duo to ever happen in basketball. And Bronny is a great player. He was 55th overall pick, and it's just crazy. It's kind of shocking that LeBron has been in the game. He's 40 years old. He's been in the game so long, 22 seasons, that he is able to play with his son, who's 20.
Who is a bit of a Nepo baby, and he does, we were talking about
A
this before,
bit.
he does great in the G League. Not sure how well he'll do in the NBA, but we love Nepo babies.
We're gonna support because
What do you guys-
it's LeBron.
What do you guys think?
I think LeBron obviously has like a lot of things to kind of work out right now as far as being an NBA player, but I think there's still time for him to just kind of get better for sure. Obviously, like the jump shot isn't really consistent. I think his defense is probably the most kind of like the most upside that he has right now is him defensively. He's a great athlete overall, but I think like eventually, like as he starts playing around great players like Luka, he keeps being around his dad. I think there's a chance for him to be a good player.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Augie, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, nobody thinks he's going to be his dad.
No. there's
Nobody
no
thinks he's
shot.
going to be his
We
dad.
can't compare him.
The reason, like Diego said, he's a pretty solid on-ball defender, which is pretty much the reason why he probably got drafted.
Yeah.
Is because he can play defense, and the Lakers pretty much needed anybody who could play defense. So yeah, but he's a good fit for that aspect. But I mean, he's just got to develop a three-point shot. He's not going to be the player his dad was, obviously. So if he can just, with the spacing that they're going to have with Luka and LeBron, if he could just get a good solid jump shot and a good solid three-point shot, he'll have a decent NBA career.
Yeah, it's comparing sticks to stones when you're saying, oh, Bronny's going to be the next LeBron. They share the same last name, they share genes,
that's about
but
it.
they're not going to be the same player. Diego, I want to know what your biggest moment has been
Yeah,
so far
so my
this
biggest
season.
moment for sure this year was probably the 76ers downfall. Just everything going from
Augie's pumped.
everything going from Joel Embiid's injuries to Paul George just absolutely underperforming to their best player really being Jared McCain for like the first month and a half of the season. Like
TikTok star.
yeah, everything about the Sixers has just been like the whole franchise has just crumbled to pieces. I mean, And now that Joel Embiid is out for the year, you kind of start to wonder where they even go as a franchise now. To me, it's just there's just so many questions, and like everything just like doesn't look salvageable. Like Paul George looks so bad to the point where like you almost start to wonder if like teams would even want to trade for him because he has a pretty big deal. He's only averaging around 16 points per game. He just looks like a complete shell of himself, and just like that whole team, like they just have no team morale. Like,
Is the process dead?
it's over. Everything is just
no.
over.
It's
Everything is
over.
over. It
It's
might,
over.
even Joel Embiid's
It's
career might be
over.
over.
It's over.
Augie,
It's
you
Joel
look like you have a
Embiid.
lot to say on this. I don't even think I want to say anything.
You don't even
Augie.
want me to start? 'Cause
No,
I could
you
on
go
for-
ahead. What do you
Look,
want to say
I'm a
on
Heat
that?
fan. Caleb Martin, bye. I'm glad you're on a worse team. Joel Embiid, I can't say what I want to say on air about you,
Oh, man.
but I'm glad you're not playing. And Paul George, I kind of like you, Paul George, but your career is over too. So
All right,
yeah.
we're going to cut it there. Andrew, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think Diego put it beautifully. Like the 76ers franchise has just been like a little bit of a train wreck for almost like maybe a decade plus now.
Send him to the G League.
Yeah, and the Paul George, like getting Paul George in the offseason, you think that'd be a step in the right direction. It wasn't. Tyrese Maxey is obviously a great player, but he can't do it on his own. There's just not much going right for the 76ers this year.
Right, and speaking of things not going right, as a Heat fan, Augie, what do you want to talk about?
What
Quickly,
the heck happened
quickly.
with Jimmy Butler? What happened? I mean, like, we all know the iconic meme where he was like this. That pretty much explains the Miami Heat in the last 2 months. And the only good thing that really came out of it was the Kevin Love Instagram reel run, which was legendary. But yeah, I mean, he got suspended 3 times. He left the shoot around because he got benched. Now he's getting sued because he destroyed the house he was renting.
Yeah, that is insane.
Look, all the reports were for a while that Jimmy Butler was going to be finish his career with the Heat. It's looked like a perfect fit for a long time. Obviously, that's not the case now. He's in Golden State, which I don't know how him and Draymond Green are going to get along. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see if it works. But yeah, look, it was a mess, and I don't know. The NBA ratings needed a bump, and they got a bump because of all the mess that was the Jimmy Butler saga.
I do have to say, this season has been kind of a mess with the drama. I love drama. Super girly for Girls Month. I would love to continue to talk about the drama of the NBA because, like I said, super fun. But that is all the time that we have. I'm sorry, Andrew, who really wants to talk about Jimmy Butler. Maybe next time. Stay tuned because we're going to talk something super exciting next.
You never got me anything for my birthday.
I don't even know what that is. I thought birthdays were every 100 years like the Kids' Choice Awards.
What?
Ah, finally, he's here, man. Ah, he's always late.
Who? Marcus?
You good?
I'd give them one of these, and one of these.
Behind every on-screen moment is a whole team of engineers and technologists.
And you can be a part of such a team through SMPTE at UCF. You'll join a team of students just like you who are ready to innovate the future of TV and film.
With SMPTE at UCF, you'll be able to connect with local industry pros, learn about new technology in the industry, as well as get backstage experience that really matters. Join SMPTE for a backstage pass to all of this.
We meet every last Monday of the month for our general body meetings. There we discuss how new technology is being used to create new media, and we get to highlight local professionals and their specialties.
On top of that, we have some site visits planned, so tune into our social media to be notified of when those will happen.
So if you're ready to pull back the curtain and find out what really happens behind the scenes, join SMPTE at UCF.
Hello and welcome back for a very exciting last segment here on Girls Got Game.
Oh, yes.
I'm very happy to talk about this. With me, I have Michaela Croker and Maddie Jackson. Thank you guys for being here. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Amazing.
So fantastic.
Good.
Yes. We will be talking about events hosted or sponsored by Red Bull that kind of fall outside of the conventional sporting game event that you would normally see, which Red Bull does a bunch of crazy things. I know we've seen it on every social media platform
yes.
ever imaginable.
Oh, yeah.
They every time you think, oh, they can't go further, they go
do.
further. So we're going to talk about our favorites and just highlight one that they do. So Frankie, do you want to start us off with the one that you picked?
Absolutely. If I had to choose my favorite Red Bull event, I would choose F1. Unfortunately, that's not what we're talking about. So I'm going to do a full 180 and talk about Extreme Capture the Flag.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable. A literal children's game that they've turned very violent somehow. Basically, what they're doing with this game is they have participants run up a greased pole to capture the flag at the end. I think we've all seen this. If not, you're really missing out.
It's awesome.
My ego says that I could do it.
You think
No,
you could
for
do it?
real?
I think we should. I couldn't do it. I will say that right now. I could not do it. You're watching it now.
Falling.
Like, ow. Ouch. Like, come on.
I would just go like
I'm
really
also going to say,
slow,
like, it's mainly men that are doing this. Like, I don't know how that.
They're not
what the
strategic about
strat
it.
is.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't do it. Very, very, very fun to watch, though. There's really nothing else to say other than it's these people making a fool of themselves, running up a pole and falling into water. Most times they hit themselves on the pole.
Yeah.
It's
Who
not
loves
like
having people fall in water.
right, and it's not like it's like a stuffed pole with cotton or something. Like, it is a metal pole. Like, it is not. It's
does
not
not feel
fun.
good.
And then
Yeah.
they smack into the water. A few people have done it. I think the last Red Bull Games, 8 people captured the flag. I mean, that's your
pretty
claim
cool.
to fame in
That's
life.
pretty
right?
cool.
Put that like
Put that
love
on your
that.
resume.
everywhere. Put it
I
top of your resume.
Yeah.
Cover letter,
I would.
it's going on there.
I would.
So I would have to say Extreme Capture the Flag, other
Fabulous.
than their F1 team, even though I hate Max Verstappen, is my favorite thing with the Red Bull Games.
I'm going to talk about Soapbox. Have you guys heard of that?
No,
I've
ma'am.
never heard
Okay,
of it.
so I've seen it a couple times. I didn't know it had the name Soapbox, but it basically is a global event where teams build their own car.
Oh my gosh, I have seen
Yes,
this. I have
they
seen
build
this.
their own car. That is all on gravity. It's a hill race. So like it all takes, you go on top of the hill and you go down and you have to have the correct aerodynamics to make sure
So
that
you're
you're
a
able to steer.
scientist.
Yes, basically that. And you also have to make your cars look very, very funny because the judges are not only judging you on how fast you are or if you're finishing the race first. They're judging, the video is awesome. They're judging you on the look of your team and their creative design and your showmanship, if you're keeping the crowd entertained, if you're keeping the judges entertained, and their technical skills, if you're able to properly build one, and the
swan
driver
there.
ability. It's awesome. It is so fun to watch, and there is crashes that are kind of funny too.
Oh my gosh.
But it's all in good fun, and lots of people go. I know that they're doing one. This races started in 2000. That's when these started, which is crazy to think about. And I know they're
25
doing
years.
yeah, literally. And I know that they're doing one in Iowa, Utah, and California this year. So
My
it's
top 3 destination spots.
yes, and thousands of people come to like watch this, which it's awesome. It's so much fun. So I just had a question for you guys. If you got to do a soapbox, what would you create it as? What would you dress it as?
Maybe like Cinderella's like carriage.
That
would be
cute.
good.
That's
That
creative.
would be a good one.
That's some good
I don't
stuff.
know why my mind went to One Direction. Like just
Oh my god, like
me and
the
the
car
boys.
that they gave out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes,
That
that's
would be
what
so good.
we can drive it together.
That would be perfect.
What would
Okay.
you do?
I don't know. I would have something like I'd have like I don't know. I was thinking like Chapel Road, like big and
It's not like
and just like
pink.
have the music like blasting as we go down. Okay, I want to go to Michaela though. What is yours?
Okay,
What is
so
yours?
I chose. I think it's pronounced Flutog. I think it's a German word. No, it's a German word and it means flying day. It's kind of the same as like soapbox, but it's a little different. They make like these little flying like planes, I guess, and then they run off this little ramp, and then they have to try and get it to fly, but sometimes they don't work out, obviously, and they land in water. Like that's what I
That's
said.
super fun.
But yeah, mine started back in 1992. The first one was held in Austria. I think that's why it's like
Flutog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flutog. Yeah, but the record for the longest flight is 258 feet back in 2013 by the Chicken Whisperers in California.
Oh man.
That's good.
It was pretty cool to watch, actually. It went really far. But the largest attendance record for it was in South Africa with 220,000 people attending.
Oh my god.
Isn't that
crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then
Pull out the
obviously,
crowds.
if you win, you get a cash prize. So I thought it was.
Do you know how much?
No.
Okay. I was just curious.
Still
we'll
awesome.
register. We'll
It's
register.
super cool though.
I love it. I would totally do
I've
that.
seen it all over TikTok.
I would totally do that. I have seen that one on TikTok.
I would
too.
do those two over capture the flag with the pole. So
Yeah. Maddie, for our final, tell us,
Mine
please.
isn't necessarily a game or a competition. It's more of an event that they hosted one time. If you were to tell me that I was going to be in a plane, jump out, and then jump into another plane, I would tell you that you're crazy. And then if you told me, actually, I'm gonna fly that plane, and then I'm gonna jump out, and then I'm gonna go into another plane that doesn't have a pilot in it, I would not do that. I don't understand.
How's the plane in the air?
So this is what happened. They had Luke Akins and Andy Farrington, they're pilots. They fly the plane, then they make it nosedive. They make it nosedive.
Oh my God.
They abandon it and then go into another plane. Like that's the idea of the entire thing. So the planes were supposed to go into a nosedive, but it was Akins' plane that ended up twisting. So Farrington couldn't get into it. So Akins successfully made it to his plane. Farrington did not, and the plane crashed.
Happened?
No, everyone is okay, guys. But the plane did crash. The plane crashed, and there were consequences that they faced. The FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, revoked both of their licenses due to reckless flying, and that's sad. And then Akins, on top of that, he got his license taken away. He also had to pay $4,000. So all I'm saying is that Red Bull payout, it better have been
So
good.
what is this called?
It's called the Red Bull plane swap. That's insane. I
Red
can't.
Bull is
can't
absolutely ridiculous.
Just crazy.
As we can see now, after hearing everyone's beautiful, amazing picks.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys so much for all of what you, all the information I now
everything.
have. But unfortunately, that is all we have for today. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you next week on Girls Got Game.